Alright, so I wanted to share a little bit of something with you. Spartan, got a 1600 kV 4082 and a 175 ESC. Now I have the rcboat bits bigger flex shaft here, and this is the stuffing tube with the liner in it that they provide. Now this is the grommet in the back of your Spartan, and when you run the rear stinger from RC Boat Bits, this little piece here in the back is the best visual I can give you. So basically it doesn't fit in between the stinger. So what I had to do was I had to cut each side of the grommet. You can see I cut the edge off each side to where it would fit in between here, just like so. So that way it fit nice and neat. Now I'm trying something, and that's the reason why I'm filming it and sharing it with you. I found this piece here at my local Ace Hardware, and I bought the right size, luckily, but it does not fit the stuffing tube for the larger stuffing tube for the larger shaft, but it does fit the stock stuffing tube, and it fits it beautifully. So let's go ahead, we're going to pop this here. I'm going to show you just how tight the tolerance is on this. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, that is a super duper tight tolerance. You can't even get it to shake off. Now, I don't know where you'd have to find it in one of those little kits at Ace Hardware. I have no idea what this thing is called, some sort of bushing. But you come back here to the back of the Spartan, and all I had to do was take a little file, and clean some of the inner stuff out. I literally made about 15 passes up and down in a circle, and then look, pushes in nice and tight. So my thought is, for high-speed situations, I felt like I haven't posted the video, and I probably won't because I had such an issue. I tried 5 different props, and I was getting an issue with prior runs 49 miles an hour, and then I came out the next day, greased my shaft, I was testing different props, and I was only getting 40 miles an hour. So I was getting a 9 to 7 mile an hour decrease of speed, and it sounded to me like the motor was in a bind. And I thought, well, maybe if I took the liner out, took the Teflon liner out of the tube, maybe I could, free up a little bit. Probably it's rubbing a little bit. So if you take the bigger shaft here, it actually fits over the stock stuffing tube, and it fits beautifully. So how nice that looks. It's got a little bit of play. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something, and I don't want to make it to where I can't put it back to stock, but I'm going to try it because that's part of what this hobby is, trial and error. So we're going to put the stock stuffing tube back in, and we're going to take this that goes this way, and it fits the other way too. I'm just doing this to where I can show you, I can demonstrate. But basically the stuffing tube fits right down in it, like so. And I'm going to hook it up like that. I don't believe there's enough tolerance here for any water to get in. Even if it is, it's going to be minuscule. Plus we're not going to be running a stuffing tube, so water's probably going to be coming up, up the stuffing tube. We're not going to run a liner, so water will probably come up through the stuffing tube. But I'm going to give this a shot and just see what happens. Now the reason why I wanted to run this, stuffing tube, was because I noticed that the other one is bigger. So it's bigger just barely. But when we come down here to the clamp was designed for the smaller stuffing tube. So if we look, I cannot tighten that all the way, or what's going to happen is it's going to break the back of this. Now I did go online and I ordered a heavy duty upgraded one of these, but I'm afraid if I tighten that too much, it's gonna break. So I have it snug. It won't twist, so it's good. But I was having an issue with something binding in the system, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if the stinger had moved. I don't know if this was an issue, because everything has to be lined up beautifully to where there is no drag on anything. Or I believe if there was drag, you're going to get a performance, decrease. So that's the direction that I'm going to head, and I just wanted to share it with you. And I'll show you what it's all looks like when I'm all done. Oh, okay, so a quick little rendition. I had to take a file, and I had to file each side of this thing flat. So I filed it flat right there a little bit. I don't know if we can, yeah, you can see it right there. So I filed it flat there, and I filed it flat there. But what it does, it allows me to slide this perfectly in here, and then it does not rotate. So that is locked solid. And this way I can look through the stinger, and I'll be able to physically see if I'm lined up or if I'm binding up. And I believe that is key. The key is to line your stinger up exactly with the point of exit on the back of the boat. If you try to move the stinger up or down, puts this, puts the flex shaft in too much of a bind, you'll either break a flex shaft or you'll be scrubbing speed because it's in a bind. So we're going to try. Now, I will say this. I tried to take this and push it from the inside. It won't work because if you look in there, that's too close to the bottom, and it won't allow it because of the lip. But I do prefer it on the outside because it's locked in with the stinger. So we're just going to take this, we're going to pop it back in, and we're going to put this thing together, and we're going to see how it looks. Okay, we're just about ready to get it all put back together, and I wanted to show you. So we have the end little hoop here, and that was the issue with the rubber grommet. And I want to show you just how perfect that is. That is like, boom. I know it's on upside down right now. It's just for visual aspects. Actually, no, it's not on upside down. But what I was doing, I just kept doing this. But yeah, so yeah, that's on the right direction. And it lines up beautifully. If you can see through the hole, I don't really know if you can, but we can get it to get a really good visual through there. Now, what I had did, because the other stuffing tube is larger, I had taken my Dremel and I had opened this up just a little bit to where it wouldn't break. Well, I took away material that I wish I wouldn't have at this point. So what I did, I had to take 2 wraps of electrical tape and wrap it around this stuffing tube because it's smaller, and I had to do the same thing up here. That way it wouldn't rotate on me, and I got it all nice and tight, so it's good to go. And I'm going to go ahead and try to slide this thing in and see how easy or how difficult it is. Alright, I'm going to try to attempt to film this and do this with one hand. If you look right here, I don't have it in yet, and if you look back there, it's not in yet either. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to slide it in and see how easy or how difficult it is. Okay, what I just noticed is that it pushed it out a smidge. And that may be okay. Oh, it went in beautifully. Alright, now we're going to turn it around and see what the other side looks like. Okay, it pushed it out just a little. Now it's back in. Oh, look at that. The stuffing tube is flush. That looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, if this works, I'm going to permanently glue it in with, like, some silicone or something. But I didn't want to make it too permanent to begin with. Now, one thing I noticed the other day, I was having these quick clips pop loose. Maybe the torque from the bigger motor, I don't know what it was, but I believe that was the issue with my decreased speed. I'd came in, and you really need to always pay attention to this little point right here. Make sure that the tray is laying down. See right here? See how it's not laying down? It's up right there. So that means that's not locked in, that's not down. See? Now it's in. That was a big deal. Keep things in a bind. So if you ever have one, pay attention to that little area right there. Cool, okay. Well, I got that all in. I'm happy about that. And I'm gonna put it all back together. All right, I'm gonna take this marine grease, stick it down in the tube here. Give it a couple pumps. And then I'm gonna put the cable in. I'm gonna grease the cable all up and move it in and out a bunch of times. All right, we've got the cable all greased. I'm gonna go ahead now. We're gonna slide it in. I've already done this twice. But because I do not have a liner, I want as much grease in there as possible. I read online on OSE, they were talking about, you know, professional racers and drivers, they don't run liners. So I'm finally gonna try it. And then I found that little bushing and I was like, hey, that looks like it would fit. And then, like, miraculously, it was exactly the same size. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up, make sure none gets in the collet, and then we're gonna mount the stinger. All right, shaft is in. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna slide the stinger on. Then we're gonna check. Boom. I wanna check to see how good everything lines up. That's gorgeous. That's better than stock. See, if you pull up on it, you can tell it's in a bind. If you push down, you can tell it's in a bind. You gotta find that little happy medium right there in the middle, and that's where we need to tighten it. And what I'll do is I'll loosen the collet on the motor, and I'll make sure that I can spin the shaft freely by hand. And if I can't, then I know that it's in a bind. But I want it to be 100% level with the bottom of the boat, and I also want to make sure that this isn't cockeyed. But so far, this is looking awesome. Stinger's all mounted. I'll give you a close-up shot inside of there. Look how beautiful that looks. Almost like it was supposed to be made like that. It's perfectly lined up. There's no bind, no kink, no nothing. It looks gorgeous. I'm excited to try it. Now, anybody, I can hear it in the comments now, what happens if it spins? Now, theoretically, the only thing that could spin would be the stuffing tube. And if that spins, then it'd be detrimental, whether it was the other way or this way. But without a liner inside of it, theoretically, as long as you keep it greased, it should never spin. Because even the bushing is locked in by the outer piece of this RC Boat Bit's rear stinger. So, all right, time to put the prop on. All right, prop's all on. Can't wait to test this bad boy out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all on the next one.